if you knew how much a consolidation loan actually costs you, don't just consolidate your debt, consolidate your actual finances, consolidate your income. They even give you this loan, they're going to make sure that interest is high because they know that you don't know any better. You just want some money in your pocket to feel like you've paid something off. Let me help you transfer your debt to cheaper debt. Welcome to the channel where we discuss all things finance, all things credit. I'm Amber Manaya. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel before you leave because you're going to love it here. I have so much to teach. Watch all my videos. There's more than enough information to get you that 850 credit score. Perfect profile. Today we're discussing consolidation loans. Consolidating in general. Most people get freaked out that the credit is bad. They all have this money. They don't know what to do. They want a consolidation loan. I've had people call me like, hey, where can I get a good consolidation loan? You can get a personal loan from any bank. Consolidation loans are a bad rap. So in essence, they all look the same. But when people say they want to consolidate, that means they actually want to give all their debt over to someone else, have them keep up with it and pay them, and they want to pay someone else to do this for them. What people do not understand is when you get a consolidation loan, you're now paying somebody to pay your bills, and they're giving you a higher interest rate because people who accept consolidation loans, they do not understand interest rate. If you understood your interest rates, you would not go with a consolidation loan. You would not pay someone to do this for you because in essence, if you couldn't pay your bills the first time around, you couldn't keep up with them. Now you're paying more money for someone else to do it for you. Save the money and do it yourself, right? It's so simple to consolidate your own credit. I'm not saying you shouldn't go get a personal loan. What I'm saying is if you're going to consolidate your credit, go to your actual bank or credit union. I would prefer you go to your credit union. Go to the credit union you've been with, that you have history, that you've been doing right by, and get a personal loan from them. Navy has, I believe it's called the pledge loan. Of course, you want to pay those down a lot if you have good credit, but if you need to consolidate, they're going to give you the best rates. If you go to a regular bank, the rates are higher. If you go to a consolidation company, they're going to charge you a fee. And that was a problem in the first place, that you couldn't pay it, as well as you don't think you have the time to. I had someone call me and say, hey, I need a consolidation loan. I'm like, you can do it yourself. As well, if you have any good credit cards in your back pocket, you can use balance transfers. If you do not fully understand balance transfers, go ahead to my library, find my video on balance transfers, and let me help you transfer your debt to cheaper debt. That way you can get a handle on it and you can pay it off quicker. If you do want a personal consultation so we can get a good strategy for you, I do that. We have companies like Nest Egg, Upgrade, Lightstream. They take advantage of people. First of all, they're gonna run your credit. They're gonna ask you for documents. If you have a credit union, I know Navy doesn't ask. You gotta love them. They're gonna ask you for documents. They're gonna run your credit. Chances are your credit is already bad. And when they see that, if they even give you this loan, they're gonna make sure that interest is high because they know that you don't know any better. You just want some money in your pocket to feel like you've paid something off. You really haven't paid anything off. When you switch your actual debt over to something else, financial institutions can tell, hey, they just got a $60K loan and everything else they had for $55K is paid off. They just transferred the debt somewhere else and they probably got a higher interest rate. This person is not very smart. We're going to give them whatever's at the bottom of the barrel. We're going to give them the end of the stick. Consolidation loan basically says, I'm too lazy to buy a calendar, use my phone, write down the payment date and the due date, and pay these things. I'm too lazy to do that, so I'm going to pay someone to do that for me. Hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, I'm going to pay them to do that for me. When I could just, again, buy a calendar, put the due date and the statement date on there as well. Look at all the credit cards I do have. Utilize my credit and the balance transfers to pay this down with lower interest. Save some money there. Get strategic about it. You're also going to need to make a budget for your everyday spending because if you go get a consolidation loan, don't just consolidate your debt. Consolidate your actual finances. Consolidate your income. Consolidate if you have any assets. Make sure everything is working at its highest potential, getting you the most money back. If you have money in the stock market, wherever you have your money, make sure you tap into all of them and see if you're utilizing everything to its fullest effect. Most people will never use a balance transfer. They'll never go from 18% to 3%. as well. When you go get these consolidation loans, you're getting between like 12, 18, 25% paying on these. It's just like a title loan. I used to write people title loans. Again, they used to hate it after they would pay their payment, and now they owe more than before because they're probably late usually. As well, the interest rate is so high. When you pay on these expensive 18% loans, you're paying thousands of dollars a year, tens of thousands of dollars a year. Most people don't know any of this because they don't want you to know this. If you knew how much a consolidation loan actually costs you, you make the choice to do it yourself. But of course, they're going to break it down so that you don't understand how much you're actually paying overall. Compare it like this. For those of you who have children, you do understand every time you give your child a new phone that they have not paid for, they most likely don't care if they break the screen or if they crack the phone, if they lose the phone, because they didn't work for it. They don't understand the value of it. Now, if you make this child pay for that cell phone, they're going to hold it a little bit tighter. They're going to make sure it doesn't get lost. They're going to take better care of it. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but what I'm trying to say is if you go and pay someone to consolidate your credit, they know how to make credit work. I know how to make credit work. If I don't teach you how to do it yourself, you're not going to understand what's going to get you in a deeper hole. We can clear you out of it, and guess what? You will come back because you don't understand how to keep your credit and your debt in order. So by you paying someone to consolidate and fix your credit, and they're not telling you how they did it, why they did it, what you need to do, it's going to cost you more over time to continue to consolidate, continue to have somebody fix without the training. Consolidating without learning what's really going on here is only going to keep you in the cycle. It's going to cost you more than it did before because you can keep going back and say, hey, here's a couple $1,000, here's $10,000, can you fix me again? Most people don't want to do that, but most people end up doing that, or they just fall completely back and say, I'm never using credit again. And then one day they need it for a house or business or a car or something, and then they have to start from scratch at the age of 45. If you know anybody who's ever said the word consolidate their debt, send them this video. Go ahead, go back, watch all my videos. I got gems everywhere for y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. You will catch me in the next one. Have a lovely, blessed day.